I collected evidence of my wife's affair for months before filing for divorce. It paid off massively. With several break-ins throughout nearby neighborhoods, I thought it would be wise to get a security system. I went ahead and purchased a wireless one and set up the smoke alarms in each of the doors with open, closed sensors. My wife had been after me for a while to replace the smoke alarms, but when I told her about the sensors, she went ballistic. She couldn't articulate why she thought they were a bad idea, but she wasn't comfortable at all with them in place. I didn't see any sense in this. I consulted a friend about the issue. After hearing me out, he was in the same boat as me. It didn't make any logical sense to not have the door sensors, but this is where the course of my life changed. After some thoughtful silence, my friend asked me, "Have you ever thought there may be someone else coming and going while you're not there? It seems to me that she doesn't want you to see this activity giving reason for her discomfort with the sensors rather than punching him for accusing her." I just grumbled, but it nagged at me every day. A week later, I had a business trip overnight for 3 nights, and when I checked the alarm system in the evening, it wasn't online. I checked it the next morning and it was back online. I swallowed this and didn't say anything to her, but it repeated the next 2 evenings, offline and then back online. I mentioned this to my friend and he said, "Alarm systems aren't that flaky. Don't you think it's strange that it's offline when you are away, but never has this issue when you're around?" So I went to the store and got a camera to hook up to the system and set the camera facing the system itself so that I could see if my wife was manually turning it off. I was tempted to tell her about it, but I didn't. The following week, I had a day trip and the home system went offline again. But this time I had a recording. I visually saw my wife was disconnecting it. My friend that I've been chatting with about all of this happens to be a lawyer. If it weren't for him, I'd be screwed. I wanted to confront her with my suspicions immediately, but my friend told me, "No, you don't have enough evidence. You have to be patient." I asked him, "How will I ever get the evidence if she's turning it off?" He said, "Get a decoy," and explained it. So I bought another hub for the security system, put the original under the counter and out of sight, but hooked up the new one as though it was the original. I was too anxious to see if it would work, so I told her I had another day trip. The next day I left for the day and stayed out of sight. Sure enough, she appeared on the recording, turning it off. But I got the system logs that the door open sensors had triggered. I had her, but my friend told me that I still didn't have enough, so I was very patient and set the rest of it up in stages, each time letting her get away with it, and each time gathering more and more evidence. I got another camera for the system, a wireless one, and placed it facing the entry door. That had triggered and learned over several more discoveries. She was having a male guest. He was parking his car several streets over, and I found out which one was his. My friend told me it's easier to put a GPS on his car, which is illegal, but better than trying to follow him and get caught doing it. So I waited and told my wife I would be working in the city 40 miles away and would be doing it for the rest of the week. I took a week off from work that day. The lover came over and I put a GPS on his car. It would ping my hub once a minute for the next several days. I'd traced it on my laptop in real time, and when he was at home, the GPS gave me an exact location. In our state, we can look up property information online and find who owns the property. So now I had my wife's secret lover's name and his wife's name. They'd been married for 17 years with all their kids in high school. Then I put the wireless camera in our bedroom, only to find out they weren't fudging in our bed, but in our walk-in closet, which is spacious enough to get the job done. The camera picked up the audio, but not the video. I captured some video though, such as them leaving the closet naked but not actually in the actual. I waited for her to leave for shopping one day and repositioned the camera in the closet. I caught them in full glory the next time he came over. Now what my friend told me, while I had enough evidence, she will still put up a denial because she doesn't want to get him in trouble with his wife, so she'll dig in and won't give. Your best bet is to bundle all this stuff together and give it to her lover's wife anonymously. Once this happens, the dominoes will flow backward. And your wife will have to come to you with a confession. If you do it right, you can erase all your fingerprints from the whole situation. Keeps you from being the accuser. I like this plan, but I really wanted to get it over with. So I used some Movie Maker software and pieced together all the parts and stages of the investigation. I conducted dates, times, everything, and strung these together in a timeline. This part was kind of fun, so I added context captions for more information. Once this was all done, I had the urge to set it to music.